Okay, I am just letting you know that I have previously. Hi. Uh, I have previously recorded this meeting, and for some reason, it has not saved as a video. So I'm going to add this little bit of video to the meeting notes that I will send you and the link that I sent you, and let's hope that this time it works. This comes to you and today, Monday Monday the 15th of April, after the terrible tragedy at Bondi Junction, Westfields, on Saturday the 13th of April, where, as you are well aware, a man set out on a murderous rampage through the Westfield, and there are 6 people deceased that we know of at this stage, and there is at least 6 more people in hospital who are severely injured. There have been numerous traumatised retail workers in the vicinity, shoppers in the vicinity, including people of all ages, and of course the ripple effect of this is absolutely unknown at this stage, but some of us are going to be more personally affected than others. And I do really hope that for those of you who are personally affected, okay, good morning, everybody. I'm having some trouble with my recording, so I apologise if you're getting this a couple of times. I'm recording this video for you on Monday the 15th of April, after the very traumatic events of Saturday the 13th of April in the afternoon, where, as you're all aware, we've heard that unseen footage of a man who took a knife to several people in Westfield Bondi Junction, killing 6 people, and he was shot dead by a police officer who acted as quickly as she could. There are numerous other people who have been injured and taken to hospitals. There are many people who were there shopping at the time. I know that there were 1,500 cars left behind, so there were numerous people affected who either got locked in, didn't know what was happening, saw deceased people, saw the actual events unfold, and many, many more who just didn't know what was happening and have been traumatised by that. There are retail workers today who are trying to get back to work with still an enormous amount of shock and trauma in their systems, and there are children whose parents are trying to make sense of it themselves, trying to understand what this means for them and the safety of what was a very safe place for a lot of people on a very ordinary afternoon. So some of you will be having to spend your sessions today explaining how trauma works to people, helping people to regulate, and probably a diversion from normal therapy. I wanted to offer this today as an opportunity for you to have some strategies up your sleeve. I'd like you to recall that just talking about traumatic events in a debriefing kind of a sense doesn't do any good, and sometimes it does harm. Unfortunately, the nuts and bolts of that can be gone into at another stage. But what we know is that when a experience is beyond our normal experience, particularly if it is fear-based, horror-based, or anything else in the negative emotional range, it gets recorded in the part of the brain that doesn't store it properly to memory. If you'd like to explain it to your clients, it's very understandable that our brains evolved to do that. If we were living a few hundred or thousand years ago and we were living hand to mouth and we heard a predator approach and the predator then picked off one of our group, our brain would record the context where, the place, the sounds, the smells, all of those things, and the emotion of fear would create a strong sense of avoidance, so we didn't return back to that place and potentially be put in danger again. That kind of recording that keeps things in vivid memory and vivid recall can very much help you to survive in a kind of survival life-death situation. Unfortunately, when it comes to our modern day and this particular event, this place that used to be safe, and these, particularly for people who work there, they're really unlikely to ever experience anything like that again. But their brains and bodies will be telling them not to go back. Their brains and bodies will be telling them that they're still not safe, and that's just biology. There are also many, many people who are vicariously traumatized by hearing and seeing it on the television. That is just as bad for many people as being there, and we want to be respectful of that. We want to help people to move back into a regulated nervous system as soon as possible, and we want to help people to cue for safety again. We want to help them to put the memory into the past where it belongs, and we want to help them to be able to know that it's over now. And if that's done successfully in these early days, there's a low chance of PTSD. If it's not done successfully, and if they dwell on the what ifs and the what could have happened and the fear-based feelings, it's like a repetition of the event over and over and over again, like tire tracks in mud. It's likely to lay down pathways of trauma that then become difficult to get out of, particularly if that's a group situation. So just in terms of your own clients, I have actually put a brief whiteboard up for you, which unfortunately didn't get recorded before. I will quickly try and draw that for you again, just so you've got this. Hopefully this records this time. This is a forward-facing trauma therapy. You don't need to be a particularly trained in any particular modality other than this in order to do this for your clients, and I thought I'd offer it to you all today. So this is something you can do with anyone who's presenting with horror about what has happened. It probably is everybody today. What you do is you draw a timeline for them, and you draw 3 X's. And you explain to them that all events have a beginning and a middle and an end. But when something awful happens, our brain remembers the salient part, the worst part, which is the middle part. Okay. And it goes back to that, like a broken record. For those of you who have records or remember records, it's like the needle got stuck on that one part that's bad, the part that doesn't make sense. So it ignores the rest of the day, it ignores the rest of the experiences of that around that scene, and it just focuses in on the traumatic, awful part. And that's the part that goes on replay. So it will replay the events, the parts that don't make sense, in order to try to make sense, the emotions that are associated with it, and the way that the body responded. So basically, every time it's doing that repetition, you're getting another hit of the traumatic experience. That's definitely not helped by the news cycle, which is repeatedly presenting video, giving eyewitness accounts on repeat, and causing people to relive it if they've been there. To help people out of this, we're not going to be reducing memory to 0. What we're doing is we're helping to widen the lens, okay? Or if you like, play the whole record. We're helping people to remember that every story and every day and every event has a beginning as well as a middle. And in that beginning, there was an event that happened. Maybe they woke up. Maybe they had some food. Maybe they had some emotions in their body. Maybe they went for a walk in the sunshine and saw some friends. And we want them to remember some details of that. And then we also want to help them to remember that after the event, there was an end. You know, maybe the best thing to do really is just say that you're here now. So what can you see? What are your 5 senses telling you? What emotions are in your body as you sit on the chair? And a present sense of that whole cycle. Okay, you just want to capture enough of that. It can be helpful to also record for them the thoughts that they were having about I am in the world, people are. This is a little bit more trauma informed, and the world is. And you want them to do that piece across all 3 time points, okay? So just getting them to record that. And then The strategy here for forward-focused trauma therapy is, once they've done that, without telling you much more than doing this exercise, you tell them about bilateral stimulation, which is just simply like what we do when we're walking. It's also what we do when we're swimming. It's also what we do when we're reading. Our eyes go left to right. You do not need to be an EMDR trained therapist to do this technique. I'm trained and training to train people who are in disaster areas to do this. They do not need to be trauma or EMDR therapists, okay? So the bilateral stimulation is just soothing on your nervous system. It's also a reminder with each one that you're here. I'm here with myself. 2 thumbs on the collarbone. We call this one the butterfly hug. It's quite soothing to just do it at this pace. And when your client does it, you can do it with them. If they prefer not to, or they have any injuries or difficulties with that movement, they can tap on their knees, left, right, left, right, left, right, at kind of a walking pace, or they can put their heels on the ground and put their feet down like they're walking. Some people will prefer to also make their eyes go left and right, but I wouldn't encourage that here. We want to keep them in the room. So we want their eyes open looking at you. We want you to be able to copy what they're doing, left, right, left, right. So as you explain that to them, this is bilateral movement, it's just copying walking. We know it's soothing on the nervous system, and we're going to do this as you tell me the story. You start at the bottom left in the beginning of Saturday. I woke up, had something to eat, the feeling I have in my body, the things I'm noticing, the people I talk to. When they've got a sense of that, get them to have a picture of that in their mind. Just get them to tell you what their sense in that point of the world was. I am happy, relaxed, people are kind and funny, the world is a safe place. Okay? Then let's go to the point at the end. You're here now. Let's notice the room, the 5 senses, the emotion that you have in your body, and your sense about the world right here. And now we're going to go to the middle. Okay, but we're going to go to the middle via the beginning again. So remembering the beginning, woke up, 5 senses, I am, people are, the world is. That point that you remember, that was the worst point of the day. See if you can get a picture of what that scene was, to stay with that. What you're noticing in your mind, what you're noticing in your body, what you can see with your eyes, what you can hear with your ears, what you can smell with your nose, what your body is touching. I am probably not safe. People are frightening. The world is not a safe place. Okay, and then we're going to move to the end. I'm here now. I'm in the chair. I can hear the cars outside. I can see the lights. I can see the cushion. I'm in my body. I'm wearing clothes different to yesterday. I am safe now. People are doing their best. The world is a relatively safe place. Okay, that's the strategy. Take them through it. Let them notice that they keep shifting their states as they move through the event. And sometimes people need to go through it twice, but definitely make sure they anchor at the beginning and that they anchor at the end. Okay, that will be a holding strategy for clients today. Have a go at doing it yourself, maybe for yourself before you try it with a client. It's really effective, it's really gentle, and it will do the 2 things that we need to do, which is put the memory in its place and calm the nervous system. If you know people who would need additional support and help this week, particularly while I'm working from home, while I'm still COVID and RSV positive, I'm happy to do extra hours on Zoom to meet with groups of people if needed. Please let people know that too. Okay.